So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to install the PHP runtime environment on Windows. You might be on Windows, you might be on Mac OS, whatever operating system that you're using. Just follow the same steps to be able to install PHP environment on your machine successfully. So to do that, we need to follow the steps below. The first thing I'm going to do is to download and install PHP. Okay, so we're going to download the server we'll be using in this video is going to be XAMPP. So I'm going to download XAMPP and we'll be using PHP through XAMPP. I'm going to download and install VSCode as well. So to start with, if we want to download PHP, you can go to a browser. Okay, head over to google.com. Okay, so when Google website opens, you can simply search for XAMPP, like that. Okay, so just say XAMPP or XAMPP download. Then you go to the official XAMPP website, which is the apachefriends.org. So you go to this website. apachefriends.org. Then you come to downloads. So when you go on downloads, you should look for the most recent version of PHP. So in this case, the most recent version that we have is 8.0.3. So the most recent one is 8.2.12, I guess. This is the most recent one. So now, so it says XAMPP for Windows. So I think automatically when you just come on the website, detect the operating system that you're using. So as in my case, I'm using Windows. So I'm going to download the Windows version. So if you're using Linux, you have to download the Linux version. If you're using the OS X operating system, you're going to download any of these here, So in my case, I'm going to download this version of XAMPP here. So I'm going to click download here. Okay, so I'll let this load. So the download should start running automatically. Okay, so you're going to be redirected to sourceforge.com. Then sourceforge.com, I think the download is just going to start automatically for you. So in case the download does not start, you can just refresh this page. Then if you refresh, you might see a download button here. You can go with the download button. Okay, so for me, the download has started automatically. So it says, thank you for downloading XAMPP. So this goes with your internet speed as well. So in my case, let's see. Okay. So in my case, the download button has come. It's here. So I'll just right away click download. Okay. It says download will start shortly here. Download will start shortly. So it's counting from 5. It's now 0 seconds. So in my case, the download has started. So depending on your internet speed. So in my case, I'll wait for this download to finish and I'll get back to the video as well. Okay, so even as much as this is downloading, I already have a copy of XAMPP that is already pre-downloaded. So I'll just go navigate to my downloads folder. Okay, so wherever your downloads are, in my case, it's in the folder installers. So once you download XAMPP, what you're going to do is that now you're not going to click on the installer, just double click on the installer. If you're on Windows or Mac or Linux, you double click on the installer on Windows and you're going to say allow as administrator. So you let's we'll just let that. Okay, so it's here, it goes XAMPP. So mostly you're going to see this here that says important because unactivated user account on system, some functions, some possibly restricted. So just say okay. Okay, so you're first going to see this window that says welcome to XAMPP setup wizard. I'm going to say next. Okay, then here are a few functions that are going to be enabled that if you need to disable something. So in this case, I want MySQL to be installed. I want for FTP to be installed. I want Mercury and Tomcat to be installed. So I'll leave everything as it is. PHP admin should be installed. So if you need to remove some things in some cases, you might remove. But for this case, you're going to need all the installation. So I'll just say what? I'll say next. Okay, so it's saying this is going to be stored in the C directory. So if you need to change the directory, you can change the directory, but in my case, I'll leave it where it is. So I'll say next. English, language should be English. Yes, I'll say next, next. And I'll wait for the installation to start. So it'll be saying unpacking files. So depending on this, on maybe your RAM and also the speed of your computer, this might take some time. This might take longer. It might not take longer. So in my case, I know this will take a short period of time, but anyway, I'll get back to this video as soon as this installation is complete. Okay, so when the file is about to finish, it's about to finish installing. This is what it looks like. So throughout the installation, XAMPP will just be saying unpacking files. So meaning it's just installing the files on your. So it's creating an installer. So it's creating an installer 25%. So let's just wait for it now. 75%. Okay, so we're still unpacking files. So this all depends on the speed of your computer. It might take longer. It might take a short period of time. So it depends on the speed of your computer. Okay, so it's not 100%. So when XAMPP is done installing on your computer like this, so it will ask you to say, do you want to start the control panel? So what I want you to do is that uncheck this, do not start XAMPP, but just say finish. Then what I want to do is to say XAMPP, okay, search for it on the machine. Okay, let's look for apps. Okay, so what I want you to do is that now that you found XAMPP on your local machine installed, so the reason why I cancelled it, I need you to run XAMPP as an administrator. Okay, so what you do is that you're going to say run as administrator. So when you run it as an administrator, you run it with all the privileges. Privileges, it needs to access the resources on your machine. So that's why I need to run it as an administrator. So I'm going to run it as an administrator like this. Okay, so I'm going to say start, and also what? Start. Okay, so XAMPP has started like this, and I'm going to say start admin. So we're going to say okay. So this means XAMPP was successfully installed on our machine. So it's going straight to the database. So if you want to create a database, you can create a database on it. So this means that now XAMPP is successfully installed on our computer. So what I'll do is that since I had installed the XAMPP in disk drive C, what I'll do is that I'll go to my PC, then I'll go to disk drive C. Then wherever you installed, in whichever disk drive you installed your XAMPP, you should see a folder written as what as XAMPP. So I'm going to open that folder, and I'm going to go to the htdocs folder. So this is where all our projects are going to be placed. So in my case, I'm going to create a new folder. Then I'm going to go starter like this. Okay, I'll write it. So now you know that in XAMPP we're going to be writing a lot of PHP scripts. So what we're going to do is that we're also going to install VSCode. We're going to install Visual Studio Code so that we'll be able to write our scripts. So now to install Visual Studio Code, go to a browser of your choice. Go back to Google. Okay, so when you come to Google, type in VS Code download. So make sure you click on the link that says code.visualstudio.com. This is the link that we want to access. So we're going to open this. Okay, I'm going to open that website. So now when your website opens, as at the time of recording, the interface looks like this, but it was different, I think, some months ago. It looks like this. So what you're going to do now is, if you need to read through this information, you can read it. But as for me, I already know how to use this tool. So what I'll just do is that I'm going to click on what? I'll click on download. Okay. So it's going to ask me which file type I want to download. So there's Windows, there is Debian, Ubuntu, or Linux. Then we have Mac OS, right? So I need the installer for Windows. So what I want is not a zip, it's not a client. I want the user installer. That's the one that I'm going to get there. Okay. So it says, thank you for downloading VS Code. So I should see, okay, so my download has started. So in my case, I already have the installer downloaded. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to close this and remove the download. But in your case, if you don't have the installer, wait for the download to finish. I already have the installer downloaded. So what I'll do is that I'll go to installers, Okay, so I'm going to run my VS Code, this one that I have. I'll click on it. Just double click the installer for VS Code. Okay, so I'm going to meet the license. This must be an MIT license agreement. So I'll just can read through this. I've read the MIT license before, so okay. I'll say next. So it's going to ask me where this should be installed. So it says C users Microsoft App Data. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that location. And it says to continue, if you'd like to select a different folder. No, I don't want a different folder. So it says don't create a start menu. So I want it to show up on a start menu. So I'm going to check this. I'll just say next. Then it says create a, okay, I want a desktop icon. I'll allow that. Then I'll also allow the context. On the context menu, I want to see an open with action button. So I'll check this. To say open with code, okay, I'll also check this. I want all this functionality enabled because it just enables me to open folders with Visual Studio Code wherever I'm navigating on my computer. So I'll say next, and I'll say install. Okay. So again, depending on the speed of your computer, the installation might start quicker, might be slower. But yeah. So just give it time. So it goes to load. Okay. So I'll get back to this video once the installation is complete. Okay, so I'm headed towards the end of the installation process for the Visual Studio Code. So I need Visual Studio Code to be able to write PHP scripts. That's why I'm installing Visual Studio Code. So I already have the PHP environment installed now. Okay, but we need Visual Studio Code to be able to write our projects. So let's just give it some time. Okay, and boom. Great. So it's saying extracting files. So it's just when I'm doing the final steps, extracting files. Okay. So creating shortcuts. Okay, creating registry entries, system information. Boom. And we have it says launch Visual Studio Code. So if you want to launch it, you can. But in my case, I won't launch it here. I'll just say finish. Okay, so when I say finish, I'm going to go to my htdocs folder. I created the folder called starter, okay, like this. So I'll click the context menu, then I'll say show more, then I'll say open with code. Okay. So meaning I want that folder to open in Visual Studio Code. Right. We have so many instances that I've opened. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'm just going to close off these other instances. Okay. We don't need them. Close this off, close that off. Close this off, close this off, close off, close off. So it's opening all the old instances I left off. So let's save that. Remove. So saying saving it as we can save the changes and taking a bit longer. Okay. So yeah, remove this. Say save. Okay, so that's an old instance. Remove the old instance also. Say save. In case this happens where you open and boom, you just see a lot of instances. I'll just say save all. Okay, so we have a new instance. So the first time you open it is going to look like this, right? So I'm going to reduce the zoom level. Let me reduce the zoom level to normal. Okay, this is almost 100%. Let's say welcome to Copilot and whatnot. So our starter folder is open here. I'm going to cancel this. I'll also cancel this. I don't need it for now. So in this inside the starter folder, I'm going to create a file. I'm going to call test.php like this. Okay, so the test.php opens. So open the PHP environment like this. So I'm just going to test the PHP environment if it's working. Then I'll say echo. Okay, I'll say welcome to PHP programming. Welcome to PHP programming. Okay. Exclamation mark. Terminate this statement. Okay. So now I'll go to my browser and I'll try to run, since remember that XAMPP is already running, Apache server is already running, and MySQL database is running. So to test that, I'll say go to 1.7.0.0. Okay. Then the name of our project is starter. Then the file in which the code is written is test.php. And I'll run this. Okay, so we have welcome to PHP programming. So here is starter, whatever you name the project inside the htdocs. Here, whatever you name this project inside the htdocs. So in my case, it's named starter. It's the one that's open in Visual Studio Code, and so I've created a file called test.php. If you open that htdocs, if you open this folder again, you're going to see test.php. So if you go to the browser, you're going to see starter, then test.php. Then you're going to see welcome to PHP programming. So congratulations, this is how you set up your PHP environment along with Visual Studio Code, and then you can start writing your code from there. Okay. So this is how you do the installation.